Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Just to give a little bit of a prerequisite to what you're about to see. This is really late. So this actually happened back in March, and it is currently, I don't know when I'm going to post this, but it's probably around August, maybe September, whatever. But it's a little bit late. I was going, it was just it was an intense time, but a very happy time being that at this event and having this experience. So I just wanted to still post this and post my experience. It's going to be really short and sweet, but it's just more just talking about just everything that I'm thankful for, and I'm just being so grateful for the experience as a designer, as a person who loves the fashion industry, deeply loves the fashion industry, and someone who is also just an entrepreneur. And we out here. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it inspires you in some sort of way, and to encourage you to continue to listen to God, your higher power, but to listen to that, because I unfortunately I've been listening, but then it's just like I try to do things my own way, but God always has other plans. And God, I don't know, I'm just tearing up. But yes, if you watch, thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. I'm headed to day 3 of the HFR Designers Retreat, and I'm really excited. It's at the Nike headquarters, and I'm excited because I would love to collaborate with Nike one day with the Praise Dance line. I would love to create a capsule collection with them. Harlem'S Fashion Row Designers Retreat. Today was the 3rd day, and they held it at the Nike headquarters here in New York City, which was great. And I just wanted to just share like my overall experience and thoughts, and how I felt, how I've been feeling, but how I felt like on the train ride home. The last 3 days have been very affirming for me, because for those of you who do not know, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a couple of different businesses, all very small, but at my core, I am a designer, and I have a worship dancewear brand called In Reverence Of, formerly called Ministry New York. And I started that brand back in 2010. And I've always had a vision to develop a brand for praise and worship dancers. I'm not saying a real brand, but like a lot of what's currently out there is very costumey, cheap, and it's just like blah, unless you witness. And there's a lot of wonderful designs out there that you see on worship dance teams where it's very clear that they have a seamstress and someone who makes their designs for them, which is great. But for me, I've always believed in like creating and building a brand for worship dancers, a high-end but accessible brand for worship dancers to have access to. And that's always just been a deep passion of mine. Again, I started in 2010, and I kind of sort of like took a pause for the brand because at the time I was like just starting school, undergraduate school, and I was trying to also figure out my career, because I knew that I didn't want to be a designer under another brand. I didn't want to be a designer as a career. I wanted to be a designer as an entrepreneur and to have my own brand. And not that obviously there's nothing wrong with working under a brand, but that wasn't like what I felt was my personal trajectory. I always wanted to have my own brand and be an independent designer. So I put it down. I wouldn't say that sounds bad, but it's like, I just lifed, and I've always believed in having a plan B, because when you are in fashion, it's one of those types of careers where it can really make or break you. Well, any industry can, right? But if as a designer, when you're in fashion or an artist, it can be really, really tough to make a living sometimes. It can be really tough to find stability. And that is something that I've never been afraid of. I've just always been the type of a person to, who believes that you should have a plan B. You should always have an additional skill set that you can fall back on when times are tough, because as an entrepreneur, things ebb and flow. So having hard skills, even not that design, it's not hard skill. It's not a hard skill, because it is in many ways. But I think that I personally think that it's also good to have something in your back pocket that you can also fall back on when things are not flowing, but they're like ebbing way back, So, I just nurtured my career, and most of my career outside of design and outside of entrepreneurship is within HR and talent acquisition. So I've been a recruiter for many years, and since 2020, because like half the world, I was also laid off of my job in March of 2020. At the time, I was an HR generalist, and but I've been a recruiter before during that as well. But I decided to go into freelance, and thankfully, because I was already an entrepreneur, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I already had the mindset of an entrepreneur and a business owner, so I already had one foot out anyway. So when that happened, obviously it's scary. It's scary for anyone, not only losing their job, but the pandemic at that time, it had just started. People didn't know what was going on, what was going to happen. But for me, in that way, I wasn't scared. It was actually a blessing in disguise. I was actually kind of, in a way, excited because I now had time to start my business and room to start my business. So that was really exciting in that way. So I essentially became a contract freelance recruiter and a social impact and sustainability consultant. And I've had, some really great clients and some really great projects that I've worked on. And so now I think I'm in this space. Over the past year, it's been incredibly uncertain. It's been a really, really tough year. You have no idea. So for me, I've just been in an interesting headspace, but I just really do believe that there's a shift happening in my life. And the year before last year, actually, I believe God told me to build it. And for me, it was rebuilding Ministry New York. You're going to hear me call it Ministry New York because that was the original name of my brand. But I decided to rebrand it because of not only the perfume line, but I just wanted I wanted the name to evolve a little bit because for many different reasons. And that can be a different video. But God said to build it, and it's time to rebuild this brand slowly. And last year, after one particular contract ended, and the contract was up, it was a 1-year contract, and it was just the end of the contract. So still in good terms with the company, so it wasn't bad or anything like that. After that, things started to, like a lot of people, they've been really the economy started to shift, and it's still shifting. It's going through a lot right now. We're definitely going into a recession. So the last year was also confirmation for me to really focus on building this business and building this part of my business in my life, and really just pivoting back into what I feel like I'm called to do. And the Worship Dancewear brand has really just been sitting on my shoulder for so long. Because it's something a lot of creators will tell you, a lot of just people in general, especially entrepreneurs, they'll tell you there's always that one thing, it just keeps nagging at you, and there's something, not that there's only something there, but there's a sense of a calling there for you, there's a sense of purpose there, and that's how I feel. There's there's this feeling in my stomach and in my gut and in my spirit when I either talk about the brand or for some way I'm reminded of the brand, or when I see worship dancers, like there's just this deep connection and I feel called to build this brand for worship dancers. And one of the challenges that I feel like I face is a little bit unique because of what I'm trying to do and build this into a brand, besides being, a small independent designer who designs for worship dancers. Like, I'm trying to build a whole brand, and that's one thing. But then also one of the challenges that I've been having, and it did play a role in why I sort of like took a pause on the brand, is because the worship dance worship praise, prophetic dance, liturgical dance, what have you, it's so niche. It's so niche. And it's, when it comes to the market research, I've struggled with that a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of information out there, but now I'm at a point where I have to do a lot more deeper research, because I'm going to begin pitching I'm thinking about going the VC route. And I'm also just, delving more into learning about partnerships. But obviously I know what they are and how they work, but just really understanding the back end of it and how to develop and lay out a proper partnership proposal. So things like that. So that has been a challenge for me, building this brand. And then any fashion designer will tell you, of building a fashion brand, it has its own unique challenges as well. It's very difficult, and but it's one of the most rewarding experiences. It has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, but more so, I feel a sense of purpose, with building this brand. So it's not just, oh, I just want to be a designer, I want to be an entrepreneur. It's a calling. It's a calling. It's not, it's not about that. It's a calling, and it's something I believe God gave me that vision, and it's now my job to execute that vision, and be a good steward of that vision. And while that's very scary, I do believe God gives us peace when we generally think about whatever that vision is for us, and whether it's your brand, your business, or whatever, there's still peace there. When we think about the journey that it's going to take, the challenges that we will face, that's scary. But there's still, in the midst of all of that, there's peace. There's a sense of peace that I feel when I think about the vision of this brand, and I feel placed. I feel that this is what I'm supposed to be doing in the world. So with all that being said, because I've gotten confirmation over the last couple of years to begin rebuilding the brand, receiving the email that I was going to participate in the HFR Designers Retreat was confirmation. So that was a whole mouthful, but that's what I was getting to. That is one of the reasons why this felt like confirmation. I feel like God was winking at me. And then obviously, yes, I did apply. I didn't think I was going to get in because my brand is still very new. HFR is an amazing organization. Brandis Daniel has built something truly wonderful. But I do also know that there are designers who are much more seasoned, designers who yes, I've established my brand technically, but they do focus more so on, ready to wear brands. And so because my product and my target market is quite unique, it's not ready to wear. Everybody's not going to wear my brand. It's deeply, deeply niched. Even though I am going to create the collection to cater to just, whoever wants to wear it, because you can wear it on and off the dance floor. So that scared me in a way. Like, I wasn't sure I was going to be selected because it's so niche. It was really, really wonderful. And, it was wonderful to get that email. it just feels so aligned. And there's a couple of other things that have happened that I've been invited to that are also deeply in alignment with what I want to do, not only professionally and in regards to entrepreneurship, but when it comes to fashion and talking about sustainable fashion and sustainability. So I'm really excited about that. But other than that, the retreat was wonderful. The first day, I've only unfortunately experienced 2 days, because yesterday, the second day, was the industry stops, where you're put into groups and you go visit the offices of a few different businesses, such as LVMH, PVH, Tommy Hilfiger, Macy's. So so that part I unfortunately missed, but the first day was mostly just mostly panels, and it was great. It was a long day. They gave us breaks, but it was really, really good. So mostly panels and a lot of networking, which is wonderful. I met some new friends. I met, just like kikiing with people in general. Like, I'm generally a very social person. I don't have an issue in social settings, but it was just nice to just kiki with people, all these beautiful black people in fashion. It was amazing. So that was really, really great. Tommy Hilfiger stopped by and chatted with us. Sergio Hudson's co-founder stopped by and chatted with us as well. And just so many other people from the teams of PBH, Calvin Klein. A lot of people were in the building, and it was just really, really nice. I made some potential connections. Hopefully maybe I can get a recruiting contract with one of those companies, because I do still contract as a recruiter, it was really, really wonderful. They gave us lunch, and there was a cocktail hour at the end of the day. But it was just really wonderful. Brandis Daniels, she gave a really wonderful, she just had a lot of really beautiful words to us. God bless that woman, and her team as well. Allison, everyone is just also just so approachable, and helpful. And I also just really appreciated all the people who've come, at least the people that I met, or encountered. Everyone came with positive energy, openness. And because sometimes in social settings, when it's like networking, some people do get a little nervous. Some people are a little bit more reserved. Some people are just nervous. They're open, but you can still be nervous. I was nervous too. I've just learned to let that go, because but anyway, I was definitely nervous, but I was able to meet a lot of different people, and just learning about what everybody else is doing. And it was very encouraging for me, like when I would let people know that I design worship dancewear. It's just like, oh, and I'm like, I really appreciate that, because I know it's such a niche thing. So it was really just lovely meeting so many people. And today was day 3. Like I said, I missed day 2, and everyone that I asked who was in my group, my assigned group, they said they had a really wonderful time, and hopefully they, the intention is for us to continue to stay connected, obviously, but also just to, a few of the people, they were open to sharing, their notes with me that they took during that day, which I truly, truly deeply appreciate, because the track that I was on, one of the main things that I was looking forward to was the wholesale piece. Also with Macy's, because when I think about worship dancewear as a brand and distribution, I want worship dancers to be able to buy pieces from the brand in different places. So when I say different places, I'm talking about places like Target, places like Walmart, places like Macy's, because these are brands, these are household names, but worship dance, even though my product and, my garments are high end, and very well made, I don't see them in Saks Fifth Avenue. I don't see them at LVMH. Maybe, one of the brands in LVMH, because it's just a different target market and all of that. But Macy's, companies like Macy's, Walmart, and Target, they carry everything in one space, you know? So therefore I could see a pop-up in Target. I could see a pop-up in Macy's. I could see a pop-up at Walmart, or them carrying the line and having a section. So that's what I was saying earlier about the market research piece, because when you pitch to those brands, they want to know, like, okay, you know, where they live and I know a lot of that. I do have a lot of that data, but I need more of it, because if I'm going to begin pitching to those types of brands, I need to know those numbers, and so far it's been a challenge. So I say all that to say that is one of the reasons why I was really looking forward to sitting in on those meetings, because they're relevant to what I where I see my brand in the future. So today was wonderful. It was at the Nike headquarters. Sorry. Definitely, I tend to do that. So, but I'm getting better at it. But other than that, today was really wonderful. It was at the Nike headquarters in New York, and Nike is one of my dream collaborators. I would love to create a capsule collection with Nike, a worship dancewear collection with Nike. I have it written in my book. I know what it's going to be called. I have the concept. So being there, hearing from the designers there, hearing from the team there, was really, really wonderful. And Dr. Edwards, he had a lot of really nice things to say to us, when it comes to not only being a designer, but also just moving as a person, because I've met some awesome people who have terrible personalities. They're like terrible people. And that's always a shame. So I'm not saying today, but I mean, I didn't meet anyone bad today, but I'm talking about, you know, throughout my career in the past, and just people who you encounter, even like some influencers I've met, and it's just like day and night. So anyway, he was just really talking about and honing in on, outside of your brand, remember, you are still also your brand. How do you treat people, right? And he brought up Maya Angelou saying, like, people will never forget. People may forget what you said, but they will not forget. They'll remember how you made them feel, basically. So yeah, his chat with Brandis was really, really lovely, and the design team at Nike was just great, and they were so approachable as well. I didn't get to speak to them. I think I also didn't pursue them necessarily, because I understood that they had a lot of people around them. They were very busy. Two, they also kind of alluded that while they were on the panel, that that's not what they do. Like, that's the whole thing. Long story short, I approached the people who I felt I needed to approach and talk to, and that was just really lovely. I would love to follow up with Dr. Edwards, because I'm looking for a mentor in this space. So we'll see what happens with that. And then, yeah, they served us a really lovely lunch. Brunch, really. Yeah, brunch, because they had cocktails and stuff. So that was really nice. And they gave us this gift bag. Yeah, so I was excited because I love free stuff. But just to show y'all what they gave us. I haven't looked in the bag yet. But okay, it's a moleskin dual set, like a sketchbook set, which is really wonderful. And if y'all know moleskin is not cheap. Okay. Yes, this is wonderful. Because a lot of the sketches that I currently have, like my portfolio, is small and compact, but it just needs a little bit of zhuzhing up, right? So they also gave us, I think it's like a little pencil case, which is nice. So all their brands, Nike, Jordan, Converse. That's dope. And okay, it's nice, and it's a pen inside. So cute. So I was excited about that. And then on Wednesday, they gave us at Calvin Klein at the at the Tommy Hilfiger headquarters. I think it was just Tommy Hilfiger in that building. They gave us these, I guess because they're all owned by PVH, they gave us a Tommy Hilfiger pouch, a bag, but this is Calvin Klein, a tote bag from Calvin Klein. very cute, because I love a tote too. So, and then they gave us a Calvin Klein cap. I really actually do love this. I love this color. This really sort of oxblood, or is it oxblood or maroon color? But it's really cute. Very high quality. Calvin Klein is high quality, but I do think that, you know, back in the 90s, Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger, they were popping then. So I think they're, you know, they're trying to just really, really make a resurgence. And a big way that they're doing that is through partnerships. And one of the ways they do that is partnering with HFR. And they also gave us this Tommy Hilfiger notebook. And it was funny because so many people were using this to, a lot of people that I met, which is great. They were using this to just write everybody's contact information down. And so by the time the event was done, it was already used. So, but that's good for them. I just sort of like followed everyone and took everybody's email and stuff like that. But yeah, today was amazing. So overall thoughts, I feel like for the retreat, it's a godsend. I really thank God for Brandis Daniels' vision. I thank God for being invited to this. I just thank God. And a lot of other designers also had the same sort of sentiments around, you know, being invited and their journey and what people have really gone through. Because that's a lot of the other things that people have been sharing is just like how hard it's been. And that could be like inside and outside of fashion, right? Just lifing. There's a few people who I spoke to who were also in the same position as me, you know, in terms of like looking for work and that could be a whole other video if when we talk about the job market right now. So that all of that, you know, it was just really, really wonderful just to connect with people. And I think that was one of their intentions. But also, they provided us with a lot of information. And like, it wasn't just like the panels weren't like, you know, just kind of like frou-frou, saying a lot of very you know, light things and things. So there was a little bit of that because it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But there was just a lot of like really hard hitting things, and a lot of people asked really good questions. So that was very helpful too. So kudos to people who really stood up and asked questions, because there were some people there who were more seasoned, and they had, you know, because as you level up, you have different questions and because you have different challenges, right? So that was really wonderful. The amount of people who were there, established, new. There was a couple of designers who their brand is still in concept, you know, right? Like they haven't really put anything out yet. And yeah, so it was that you had that, and that is what I appreciated, because like there were everybody was in the room, and everybody came with the intention to help and share. That was wonderful. So while I cannot speak on day 2, I can speak on day 3. You know, that was also great. It felt much more, I don't want to say intimate, but I think a lot of people today were just sort of like overwhelmed, like in a good way. A lot of people were tired for sure, especially if you did all 3 days, and depending on whatever else is going on in your life. But other than that, it was really, really wonderful. I would love to and intend to apply again next year. If I apply and get accepted into the retreat next year, my prayer is that I will be in production. I will have more samples made. I will have dressed a few dancers, worship dancers, or dance groups, because some people dance individually, many dance in groups. I pray that I would have clothed several worship dancers or dance groups by then. And at that point, I probably would be also asking a lot more questions next year. And then I will definitely be applying to more of the programs that HFR has to offer designers. Because before I was just so, I just wasn't very, I think again, I just felt so insecure about, because of what I design, that's probably not what they're trying to do. Like, so I'm now a lot more confident in that, and I realize that, okay, no, it's just fashion is fashion. So that's one thing. So I would just really encourage anyone to, if you are a budding designer, if you're thinking about being a designer, if you're not sure but you really love fashion, because there were also non-designers there too. There were photographers there. I think there was someone else I met that wasn't a designer per se. There were people who were people who were in health and wellness too, but they have a background in design and they're just trying to figure things out. So if you're just trying to figure it out, that's also something you can also bring, at least in terms of the people that I met. So I feel like, yes, please do apply next year. Definitely apply next year and apply to the all the programs that HFR has to offer. So, and it's like I'm just kind of like on a high. It's like I'm overwhelmed, but in a good way, like I said. And yeah, I'm just gonna take it all in, because tomorrow, that's another reason why I was a little overwhelmed, because tomorrow I'm going to be vending at a market for my perfume line in the Reverence of Parfums. Tomorrow I'll be at Fad Market all weekend, so that can be a lot. So if for those of you who have product-based businesses and you vend at makers markets and things like that, and it's like an all-day thing, back to back, it can be taxing, because not only are you working technically, but you're also communicating and talking all day, right? So yes, I think that is one of the things that I just wanted to sort of like prepare for mentally. And I look forward to it. I'm really excited. Also, in my first store for the perfumes, I'm in a Christian bookstore in Arizona called Holy Land Books. Okay, so check them out. I'll link their website below in the comments. In the description. And so yeah, things are slowly coming together, but it's been good. But I will say there's also so many things in my life happening that's telling me to just stop. It's been a really challenging year. It's been a very challenging time. And there have been days where I just don't know what to do. And so it's really just about really leveling up not only my relationship with God, but just my faith in God. And I know that He will continue to provide. He's Jehovah Jireh. And every time I move, I thank God for moments like this, being a part of the retreat, getting my first wholesale order, being at markets and things like that. And I started a GoFundMe about 2 months ago, to help pay for vendor fees, because if you don't know, a lot of markets, they have a fee, and those fees range from, on average, like $120 to $400. And I mean, a lot more expensive than that. If you go to the really big ones, it's like thousands of dollars. But for the local ones, sometimes on average, again, it is about $120 to $400. And yes, there are some very affordable ones, like sliding scale ones. There have been some where I've been invited to vend for free. Always amazing. But there's also been a lot where where it's like a sliding scale, and you pay, maybe about $30, $50, $70, which is also great as well. But these fees, they just add up, especially if that's the main thing that you're doing. So you have to constantly be outside to vend so you can make more money for your business. Because at least for me and my brand, like, I'm still small online, and Instagram and TikTok, and I'm like, the algorithms are just, girl, like, so it's really hard to grow, especially if you don't have a social media team or someone doing your social media, because I have to be an adult too. So doing it all alone, it can be a lot. and it's all good, because it's like it just continues to challenge you to not only stay focused, but to also prioritize and really compartmentalize when you're going to work on what, right? So one day I'm feeling perfumes, making perfumes. The other day I'm focusing on social media and things like that. So yeah, this week has been a week, and I'm half in my mind. For me, today's Friday, so tomorrow and Sunday are going to be a lot, but I'm looking forward to it. So, but it was a lot of it's a good overwhelm, and I thank God for that. I'm healthy. I thank God that I am in my right state of mind, even though I have been a little depressed. I have, because it's just been a lot. It's been a really tough time, but I just thank God for connection to people, and not just like, oh, what can they give me and things like that, but it's just connect with other humans who are just on the same path, but just connected with other humans to just talk to, and people who encourage you. I've met a lot of very sweet people who have just given me like a lot of very encouraging words. But yeah, I didn't mean to cry, my bad. But yeah, y'all, that was amazing. It was so good. Thank you to Harlem Fashion Row for inviting me, accepting me into the retreat. And whoever watches this, whether you're from HFR or Nike PVH or whoever sees this, or you're a designer, obviously, whoever was there, thank you for watching this. Thank you for whether or not we've met. It was really nice to be in the room with you, and then to whoever else watches this. I really hope that this serves as encouragement for you. Definitely check out Harlem Fashion Row if you have not. And yeah, I will see you next time. Depending on how I edit this, I'm going to put some footage, from the event and things like that in here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please, I'm trying to build my YouTube channel, y'all. And I'm going to get better and better and better. I promise. But yes, please like, comment, and subscribe. Especially if you want to hear more and see more vlogs and watch more videos around entrepreneurship, perfumery, worship, dance, and sustainability. So I love you all. Peace and love. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, y'all. I want to get better at vlogging a lot of this. So I'm headed to day 3 of the HFR Designers Retreat, and I'm really excited. It's at the Nike headquarters, and I'm excited because I would love to collaborate with Nike one day with the Praise Dance line. I would love to create a capsule collection with them. So, other than that, I'm really just really excited and looking forward to everything. But it's been really, really nice. I didn't make it yesterday to day 2 with the industry staff because I was not feeling well. But day 1 was really good. It was a really long day, mostly panels and networking, but it was really nice. There was a cocktail hour after. But yeah, really excited. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That part is also a part of where are you on the journey. And the last one is future implications. Like I said, we're in the very beginning and things are going to move and change so quickly. So what are some things as creatives we should keep in mind to kind of safeguard the work that we do, safeguard?
I think you have to live on Instagram, TikTok, and I think you have to be in the know of what's going on in the zeitgeist. You have to know what people are thinking and what they're wearing and what they're talking about. And then you have to feed into that. But I never had my own broadcast network when I was starting. You have your own broadcast networks, and you could be the voice of your brand to the public through social media. But you have to pound away at it, and you have to be consistent with it. You have to do it every day. You have to gain those followers, because those followers will be your customers.
In a business, speak at the designer retreat. So this is the first. Well, thank you. So hopefully you'll come back. Thank you for having me. Of course, I'll come back. I brought little notes because I was looking and I'm like, I want to make sure that I stay on
Thank you so much, Kismet. How y'all feeling?
Our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, it is extremely strong. We sit in an